this video, I'm going to be talking about the differences between nearsightedness and farsightedness, astigmatism, and even presbyopia, with ASMR on top of all of that. So here we go. First, what is nearsightedness? Nearsightedness is what happens when light enters the eyeball and does not make it to the retina, the back of the eyeball. It's special neurological tissue that sends visual light signal information onto the brain through the optic nerve. Everything gets funneled into the macula, the optic nerve, the entire retina, in order to send visual signals onto the brain to be interpreted, because when light enters in, it's actually upside down, but your brain flips it right side up. So, nearsightedness is what happens when light does not get to the back of your eyeball and you cannot see far away that great, which requires correction like glasses or contact lenses, or even some people consider refractive surgery like LASIK or PRK or something like that. So what is farsightedness then? Farsightedness is what happens whenever your eyes prefer to look far away, but they have a harder time looking up close at things. This means your eyes have to crank in what's called a lot of accommodation in order to be able to change the position of the lens in your eyes from seeing far away to up close. Some people's eyes work better this way, and it can sometimes cause headaches and eye strain and fatigue and frustration, and these people have a difficult time as they get older with this kind of prescription of farsightedness, which makes it a lot harder to read things up close and to transition back and forth in between the distance and the up close. So now that we have farsightedness and nearsightedness covered, how does astigmatism factor into all of this? Well, astigmatism is a variety of things. There are several known forms and variations of astigmatism that exist, but we're going to narrow it down to the top three that I typically run into the examination room. The first being corneal astigmatism. This is by far the most common type of astigmatism that I see. Your cornea, the front of your eyeball, it's not perfectly round on a microscopic scale. And in my case, I have a good amount of corneal astigmatism, where horizontally speaking, my curvature in cornea is more flat than it is in vertical curvature. And the difference between those two curvatures, like let's say north and south versus east and west, or up and down versus left and right, the difference in the curvatures is astigmatism. That's corneal astigmatism. The next kind of astigmatism is called lenticular astigmatism. This is what happens when someone develops cataracts and gets a form of astigmatism that's not related to the length of the eyeball or the cornea, but related to the lens inside their eyes. And the third type of astigmatism is called axial astigmatism. Axial astigmatism just means that the eyeball is incredibly long and you have nearsightedness plus some variations of astigmatism where light is hitting different sections in different areas at different times. The thing to note about astigmatism and technically nearsightedness is that whenever you're driving at night, for example, or you're looking at things that emit light sources, headlights from vehicles, street lights, traffic signals, things of that nature, you might see some glares, some flares, some halos, some distortions, some aberrations, some different things like kind of wispy things, like fountains coming off the lights, basically. Those are versions of prescription error that are not normal, and at nighttime it gets worsened because the pupil, the black hole in the middle of your eye, opens up more, or if you're really excited to see someone. But talking about everyday vision specifically, it opens up more and more of that refractive error comes into play, which some people note this a lot in nighttime driving or trying to read in low levels of light, or different things like that that require a prescription to help alleviate those visual symptomatic problems. What does presbyopia have to do with any of this at all? It has to do with the lens I was just mentioning a few moments ago. So presbyopia is an age-related condition, or if you've had cataract surgery, you have intraocular implants that you cannot read up close with. That's not presbyopia though. Presbyopia is when the crystalline lenses harden up inside your eyes and you cannot read to focus up close anymore. This is what people use: bifocals, readers, cheaters, over-the-counter glasses, progressives, trifocals, all kinds of stuff, even multifocal contact lenses, in order to be able to help them to see up close and see off in the distance, because the lens, when you hit your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, it has a much harder time of transitioning the lenses to help you see far away and up close compared to when you were 14 or 16 years old, for example, or even 8 years old for that matter. Now, you may have heard me mention bifocals. Some children are going to be in bifocals to help their accommodative system grow and develop and mature. But what happens as you get older is that the lens hardens up and fattens up and can't focus as well as it used to, which requires that up-close reading prescription and being able to see in the distance if you have that going on too. So those are the main types of prescription errors that I typically see and have conversations with people on. Now, there are things that are changing, such as prescription drops that are going to be allowing you to read better and see up close better. Some are doing a lot of other things that are still pending FDA approval, but we're going to wait and see how those results play out over time. But a lot of this stuff can be corrected easily. You'll need to talk with your doctor about all of this to make sure that you're on the same page for helping taking care of your eyes and seeing your best, because this is a work smarter, not work harder situation. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell for notifications. And to learn more about your eyes, I'm Dr. Bryce Heffington, and we'll see you next time.